So, welcome to our Elite Empire meet and greet. And so, this is our first time doing this. So, you all get to experience this with us. So, we're all excited that you're here. And I know some people couldn't be on live tonight. So, I am recording and I will upload it into the little page as well so everybody can hear it. And what we want to do is we have 4 speakers tonight, everyone from a brand new coach all the way up to myself, who's been in the business about 3.5 years. And if you guys could just mute your lines just so there's no feedback. There should be a little button where you can kind of X over your microphone. That would be wonderful. So we're going to have 4 speakers tonight from brand new coach all the way up to a veteran coach. And we just want to share with you a little bit more about who we are, how we started our coaching business, and kind of where we're at this point in our business. Because I think it's important for you all to hear how coaching looks and how it's different for each of us from 1 month in to 3.5 years in. So I'm going to pass the torch over to Courtney. She is one of our team's newest coaches. And Courtney, take it away.
Well, hello. My name's Courtney Redmond, and I am the brand new coach. I've been coaching for a year now, or not a year, I'm sorry, a month now. Goodness, can you tell it's 9 o'clock? And so far, I feel like I'm kind of hitting the ground running. I've been doing Beachbody for a few months now consistently. I started about 4 months ago. I started on my own. I was doing my older Beachbody DVDs on my own and following the 21-day fix plan. And Aaliyah asked me if I would do Lift 4 with her, and I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm kind of doing my own thing. And eventually I came around, and she asked me to join her accountability group. So I did, and that's really where I found for myself the most success. Just having that motivation and that accountability, and other women and men or whoever who are helping you to stay on track and helping you to stay accountable and helping you to want to do the workouts. And eventually it got to the point where I feel like I definitely check into the accountability groups, but I don't find excuses throughout the day like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm doing it because I know other people are counting on me, and if they can just get over that hump, I know that they'll kind of feel like I do. I feel a little crazy because I want to, shout from the rooftops how much I love Beachbody and everything that I've been doing, because it really is working for me. In my first month, I've gone Emerald. So that means I have 2 coaches signed up under me. And actually, as of today, I have 5 coaches signed up under me in 1 month. So I'm kind of excited about that. I've been able to pay for my Shakeology. I was able to pay for my challenge pack that I started with, just based on the people that I've been helping. So even if you have just a few people a month, it's recommended the 3 people. I feel like that's going to pay for your supplies. And if you can get even more and make a little extra money, then it just makes it all the more beneficial. So that's kind of what I've been doing. In my 4 months of doing this, I've now lost 30 pounds as of yesterday. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've lost over 30 inches. I've gained confidence. I've had people at work or family or friends who are, I'm not asking for compliments, but it's nice to hear the compliments because they're notice the change too. And it's not just how I look, but how I feel. So that's really been kind of why I'm so pumped about this and going forward and trying to help as many people really as I can. So trying to think, is there anything else I needed to talk about, Lisa? Did I talk too fast?
And no, that's perfect. And you still work a full-time job, correct?
I do, yes. I'm a preschool teacher. I work full-time. I have no access to my phone while I'm at school. So basically it's kind of, check in the morning real quick, and then I'll check in the evening. And yeah, it's pretty busy. I have 2 boys who are also very involved in things. My husband. So we're just we're busy, but I kind of do better when I'm busy, honestly. Kind of helps me to be better with my time management, when I have to actually schedule my workout in so I know that I'm going to get it done and those sorts of things. So it's a crazy busy life, but I like it.
Perfect. Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. So I am going to turn it over to Aaliyah now. Aaliyah is an Emerald coach in our organization, but she is very quickly approaching her next promotion. And Aaliyah's been coaching. This is your 5th month. Is that correct?
4.5, 5. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Take it away, Aaliyah.
I feel like I'm underdressed. Courtney looked like she was getting ready to go to work. So I've been coaching since about June, mid-June, and that's when I recently moved to Ohio. I am originally from Lebanon, Indiana, like most of the other people here. And I've been doing Beachbody on and off with the DVDs and the Beachbody On Demand for a while now. And recently in June, I decided to become a coach. It was more at the beginning for getting the discount on the products, and then also making a little bit of money because of preschool actually costing in Ohio versus Illinois, where we used to live. So now I'm at month 4 or 5, and I am able to cover that cost of my Shakeology, my Energize, my Beach Bars, everything I like to purchase from Beachbody, as well as pay for the preschool, which is around $150 a month, I want to say. So we went through Lift 4, and then we did a 21-day fix, and then now we're on to the new program, Shift Shop. So in between some of that, I've been struggling with the move, so my nutrition hasn't been on plan. I do enjoy the accountability groups. However, it's more for me. I enjoy getting up and having a purpose, I guess, to get up and work out and motivate others to do the same thing. As Courtney has mentioned before, I kind of harassed her a little bit on getting into my accountability groups because I knew it would help her out, and she was already doing it on her own. And I hate to see people do workouts on their own, just because I know it can be a mental struggle to find time to get those in. And that's one of the main excuses I hear a lot is, I just don't have time. I have all these kids. I have this and I have this going on. And it's like, you know what? If you just schedule 30 minutes, it's 2% of your day. So you can schedule this in and you can get it done, and I will make sure that I'm going to hold you accountable to this. So really, it's not about the money for coaching. It's more, I want to help other people get their goals, even if I don't hit my own goal weights, or if I don't hit my own, like nutrition goals or anything like that. I still like to help others. It's kind of like do what I say, not as I do type of thing. I rather help someone else, even though it's benefiting me. It's holding me more accountable, at least to the workouts. If I can just mentally get that nutrition done, then I would be there. Also, going on the lines of coaching, I have started doing personal development books, which I absolutely hate reading. But I did read Girl Wash Your Face. I want to say the title was. I already forget. It's too late. But now I'm on to the Audible, so I don't have to actually read anything. I can just sit here and listen to them. And I take notes with it because otherwise I'm not going to retain anything I'm listening to. But it's helping me be a better person. It's helping me be like a better, I guess what they call a boss babe, or however you want to say it. But I do enjoy being motivating myself. I do enjoy improving how I'm communicating with others. So it's not about selling the product. It's actually about caring about the person and what their goals are and how to accomplish them. So I have made a goal for myself a couple weeks ago to help 20 more people. And I do want to help women, but one of my goals is to help men as well, because I love to see all the women out there on our accountability groups, but I know we're missing the men out there. I have a couple guys that are doing Beachbody On Demand, but they just don't want to post, or they don't want to coach yet. And I just feel like they have so many connections, but they're just kind of maybe too embarrassed to do that. So I'm hoping, I guess, some men on my group that will step up and become a working coach, because, they need help just as much as us women do. They just don't want to admit it half the time. So I think I covered everything. I'm a stay-at-home mom. So Emma's a first grader. So she's gone for 9 to 3:30, and Ryder goes to preschool Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for a couple hours. So I usually do my stuff in the morning before school, and then I'll check in throughout the day. Just sorry about the train noise. I'll check in throughout the day, like my messages or anything along those lines. So I don't spend a whole lot of time, even though my husband would probably say differently, actually working the business. But I do, we put our messages out there, we put our whys out there, we put our reasons out there, and try to help motivate others just to lose weight. I did have a lady come to me and say, you're the reason why I'm going to the gym now. And I'm very happy for her. Even though she didn't sign up with Beachbody, I at least motivated someone to start their journey and to start getting fit for themselves. Even if it's not with me, that's fine. I just want people to get healthier, because the obesity in this world, and for our children, we need to set better examples for ourselves. Sorry.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Allison. And Allison and I have been coaching together for about 18 months. So Allison, go for it.
Hey. Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Sometimes my sound is weird. Okay. Cool. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 2 boys, and I had started with Beachbody right after. I had baby number 2 to lose the weight, and really nothing more. I did not even know coaching was a thing. I wasn't interested at all, really, but I started seeing some really good results. And if you don't know this, when you get really good results with weight loss and toning, your clothes fitting better, people start to notice. And so family and friends started to ask me what I was doing, and I noticed that I was spending a ton of time like showing them the programs and explaining this stuff to them and all things. Well, here's what I'm eating. Here's how I did it. And so I decided that there must be some money in this coaching thing, because people were wanting to join. And so I had a friend who was coaching at the time, reached out to me and was like, hey, I really think you would be good at this. And so I started. And I can tell you that the day that I started, I like had a panic attack. Like, what have I done? What am I doing? I like even signed in to figure out, like, can I cancel this if it's been like less than 24 hours? Because I was just terrified. Like, network marketing gets a terrible name. And I just didn't know. My mom works for like a makeup business, and they have to keep inventory, and like, it was just terrifying to me. Obviously my husband's a pastor and I'm a stay-at-home mom. We don't have like tons of money for me to invest in this like company. And so my first month I made over $500. And from that moment on, I was like, oh, it's me in here. This family. I was already sharing my meals. And I was already participating in these challenge groups. And so I was like, maybe I should do this for a few more months, And so then I started to reach more family and friends, because I started sharing my story on social media the way that like we train you to. It's pretty simple. You just share what you're already doing. And so I kept getting people that wanted me to coach them. And so I started coaching them, and it just kind of has evolved. And so I want to get quickly. I'm going to set my timer, Lisa, because I want to be quick. Over time, this business has gone from something that I felt like was just for a few months that I was going to do. I was just going to like help some people, make a few extra bucks, whatever, into something that has truly been life-changing for me and for people around me. The reason why I coach is because it has changed my husband's life. It has changed my mom's life. It has changed my sister-in-law, my father-in-law, people from all walks of life, but people that are close to me is truly, just changed their lives. When I was talking to my husband about like, what am I going to say tonight? I I just get so nervous. Like, I don't know if I have anything to share. He said, just share like why you do what you do and what it's done for you. And so like, I get messages all the time from people that are like, hey, like this has truly changed my life. Like I'm like every day I get a message about it. And so, the why is really important in coaching. It's really important to know, for me to know that like what I do matters, that I have something that I'm working towards that is profitable, whether it's an income, which is profitable, by the way. But it's also profitable because people's lives are changing. And that's a big deal to me. I'm a former teacher, and like people always said, teachers change lives. And it's true, they do me. And so I'm not selling myself short in the fact that like I quit my career to do this. So let me just get to this. So one of the things that has been a huge blessing for me as I've moved my business. So I am, Lisa said, like I'm a diamond coach and I am a business builder, which means that I am working towards building my team. I've given myself some promotions or whatever. I've been doing this for 18 months. And so one of the biggest benefits for me and my family, other than people around us getting healthy, other than true lifestyle change, is the income. Like the income, we don't make a lot of money. We've never made a lot of money. We've always lived on a tight budget, and we still do. But now we can say yes to things that we used to not say yes to. Like finances are not nearly as stressful as they once were. We have paid off our debt, and we've been able to just take vacations because we want to. There was a time where a vacation would have to be saved for like several years. Last week, my husband and I took a like totally paid for trip to the Keys in South Beach. We stayed 4 days, and it was totally paid for by Beachbody, and it was paid for by I think 2 months Beachbody. That's like a huge deal for our family. And so just little things like that might not seem big to you, but are really big, and they're really helpful for like life and for enjoying life and things like that. So if you are like have hesitations, I just want to say like that's okay. So did I. Like I had every hesitation that was out there that you could probably name about like finances, about not being good enough and all these things. And so I always try to share that part of the story is that, yeah, I was fearful too. And yes, I work, but I also earn an income. And this business has, I don't like calling it a business sometimes because even though it is like, it's truly what I love to do. And sometimes business gets a bad name. But this has changed like a lot of things about my life for good.
Thank you, Allison. You have tea? All right, guys. Well, I will share my coaching story here for just a few minutes, and then we'll open it up the last 5 minutes if anybody has any questions that they want to ask any of us who have spoken tonight. My name is Lisa Fote, and I live in Florida with my husband and our 2 boys. They are 6 and 4, and I've been a coach for 3.5 years. And for me, I started off just trying to lose weight. I had a baby, and I was a group fitness instructor, meaning I taught the classes, but I still couldn't lose my postpartum weight. And so I found Beachbody. I found a girl that I knew who was doing it, and she's like, oh, join my group. And for the first time ever, I lost weight. I felt great. I was eating right. I learned how to eat. Because before I was that girl who ate like lean cuisines and turkey sandwiches and carrot sticks and Diet Cokes. That was my diet for years. And I really just made some changes with Beachbody that I was proud of. And for the first time ever, I got all of my baby weight off in like 21 days. I lost 10 pounds and I was ready to go. And I was like showing up in our challenge groups, and she reached out to me and asked if I wanted to coach. And for those of you who don't know me, I've worked in higher education for 15 years, and I have a master's degree in higher education. I was the dean of a college. And so I had a very stressful, high-paying career. Like I almost made 6 figures in my job, and I had invested a lot of time. I had invested multiple degrees and certifications. And at that time, I had no desire to step away from my corporate job because I had worked so hard to get there. And so I very slowly started coaching, maybe working 10 hours a week for the first couple years of my business. But I also made some sacrifices to be able to work those 10 hours because I was still working a full-time job. I was still commuting. I still had 2 babies, and my husband travels for work 3 nights a week usually. So I didn't watch TV. I got up an hour or two before everybody else and did that for about 2 years in my business because I saw the potential. In my first month, I made $300, and I was like, I just made $300 like helping people lose weight from my phone, and I was immediately hooked. And so I joined some training groups. I got some really good training. And that's one great thing about our organization is that we are linked to the #1 coach in the network. And she provides the most amazing training. And she has helped me. She will get on the phone with me. She is just an amazing mentor in this business. And what we love so much about our business is it's never a competition. And I worked for 15 years in a job where everyone felt threatened that I was going to take their job. And it's just so refreshing to know that the #1 coach will take time out of her day to get on the phone with me and help me strategize my business. And that's what I love. And so I started out kind of small, helping like 3 to 5 people per month. And then after about 2 years, my husband and I had a really serious conversation. We wanted to make some changes. We wanted to decide where we wanted to raise our kids and what I was going to do with my life. I was making pretty good money at that point as far as being a coach 2 years in, building a solid business. At that time, I was a 2-star diamond coach, which meant that I had 2 coaches who were building teams underneath of me. And I was able to match my full-time income 2 years into the business. And so he and I sat down and he said, if you can sustain this, then why don't you step away? Why don't you be home with the boys? And that's something I never would have envisioned myself doing because I'm so driven. I'm so career-minded. I'm so like always chasing that next step and recognition. And, I had to sit back and really think about, I'm giving up my career. I'm giving up all of these degrees. But to me, it was more about this is what I love doing. I love helping people, not only helping people lose weight, but I love mentoring women on how they can start a business, build a business, train them. And that just like sets my soul on fire. And so for the past 18 months, I left my job it was like February of 2017. So I've been home since then. My husband and I decided to move from South Carolina to Florida, and we built a home together. I get to be home with my boys. I get to take them to school every day. I run my business. I would say at this point, 3.5 years in, I probably work 15 to 20 hours a week, just because it's not just, at this point, I am also running and managing a team. I am a team leader. I'm an organizational leader. So I am managing our team. I'm making sure I have a calendar. I'm making sure we have groups for our team. And in addition to starting new clients as well. So we still are working our business, but then helping our coaches too. And so I've been able to surpass my income in my corporate job. It took me 15 years and degrees to get. I was able to match it at 2 years. And now that I'm like 3.5 years in, I'm probably about 25% higher than I was in my corporate job. And so I just have to be so grateful for the opportunity to earn the income, first of all, because I'm doing what I love and I get to help other women financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, whether that's through encouraging them to read personal development, getting them started right on a fitness program, or just showing them, a strategy for building a business. And that's what I just love. And I thrive off of it. And, our team is growing and we're about to hit a really, really, really big goal for the end of the year. And we've all kind of just like linked arms together and we're all just supporting and encouraging and motivating each other on this process instead of tearing each other down. And that's what I love so much about this company and this business. And so I'm going to wrap it up there because we have just a few minutes left. But if you guys have specific questions, I am going to just tell you to go ahead and unmute yourself now and go ahead and just ask questions to any of us or just general questions.
Hi.
Hey.
So I have a couple questions. One was like I'm like searching through Beachbody right now, trying to look at like how it looks from a coaching profile, and then I guess my question would be: is there like videos or anything to watch to kind of see like what you would do when you start to put people under you, and I guess kind of coach you to see what it's going to look like if you decide to do this?
Yes. And Kristen, there are two places for that. Number one, we run our own team training, but there is a place in the back office. And since you are already signed up for as a coach, I can show you where to find that.
Okay. And then since I did sign up as a coach like last month, more for the discount versus like doing the coaching initially, because I've obviously had my reservations since I message you every day. So
Uh-oh.
as far as like, should I have had like 3 people under me or whatever for my first month, or?
I have to look at your sign up date and figure that out. Because they do give you 2 months to get started.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Cool.
Yep.
And then the other question I had is if I wanted to like people wanted to try this and do the 14 days free, are they able to do that under you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. You would just send them to Beachbody On Demand, and you would give them your coach ID number, and they could create an account through you.
Awesome. And then the other question I had is like, how long do you think it took you to understand, I guess, all the coaching resources, basically to understand everything that you needed to know? Or was it kind of like something you learned as people asked you questions? I guess what was the best way you went about learning everything you need to know to do the coaching?
Honestly, I'm a big believer in just like going. Sorry, Allison, go ahead. Are we frozen? Allison? Hello?
No.
Can anybody
Can
hear
answer
it?
if you can't hear.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say that I've been coaching 18 months and I still feel like I don't have answers a lot of times. But we have such good trainings and such good material that you can always find the answer. And then sharing personal experience, like as you're going through the stuff is like, hey, here's what I found and here's like what's working for me. So I would say like a couple of months of like the basics, but our trainings are just like, they're phenomenal. Lisa's like done a really good job with training. So.
And also, Kristen, I just find that just getting started and just doing the activities that will bring business in is the best way to get started, rather than like, consuming yourself with all the trainings, because you could get lost in the trainings for days. There's so many YouTube videos. There's so much in our back office. So
what are you doing? You're all happy about it.
Just doing
Stop. What are you doing? Stop doing that.
Just doing a little bit at a time. And then, just getting started right to make sure you're doing income producing activities.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, go.
If I do all these things and for whatever reason, it might just take me a little longer to get 3 to 5 people every month or whatever, do I get kicked off the team? Or can I just stay or hang around and just try as long as it will take me?
Yes, and that's the great thing, is that we don't have quotas. So you can literally do as much or as little as you want. You can even just sign up for the discount. But obviously the more you do, it really starts building that income and that compound effect with your income. But yeah, you're not going to get kicked off, Lisa. We're happy to have you.
Great.
Yes. but we may get kicked off this call. Does anybody else have any more questions before we wrap it up? No? All right, guys. Well, I am going to stop our recording and I am going to upload this into the page. And then tomorrow, I'm going to actually add some common misconceptions into the page as well. So everybody can kind of check that out. So if a question comes to mind, maybe tonight or tomorrow, feel free to drop it into the page so that we can answer it for you and make sure that all of your questions are answered. Good? All right, guys. Well, I hope everybody has a great night. Thank you, everyone who jumped on tonight. We really appreciate it. Hopefully you are considering joining us if you haven't already. We would love to have you and love to train you. We are gearing up for our busiest time of the year, so this is actually the perfect time to get started because we have a huge launch coming in December and January, and you want to be ready to go for that. Those are my craziest months last year. I think I doubled my income from my full-time job in one of those weeks in December last year. It was crazy. So we want to prepare you for that. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording and I will upload this and I hope everybody has a good night. Bye.